What up? Annex here. Just had a super dope conversation with the homie Moses Vega. We talked crowds and chaos.
I'm not gonna front. I was a little bit nervous when it started getting to that point where it was like, Annex is about to reveal some shit.
We talked music endeavors I got coming up.
Are you making any new music or not? Do you not want to answer that?
Most importantly, we talked about why the follow-up event to the epilogue did not happen.
Are you able to tell me the main 3 battles for the next event you were planning? And then after you tell me, if you are going to say, can you tell me where it ended? Where you was like, you know what? I ain't doing this shit.
Y'all be sure to check that out coming up right now.
What'd you think about the release of the documentary? How, actually, you know what? When you first saw it, because you came to my house, you had a private screening here with the projector, and it wasn't even like final. You know what I mean? How'd you feel when you saw it?
Bro, it felt amazing, honestly, from the intro. And I honestly had already seen the intro a few times. You know what I mean? Because we had gone back and forth a couple times or whatever. But even still, I don't know if it was knowing that I was about to watch the whole thing, and I kind of knew that I was about to watch something dope. But it still felt great even that time watching it, and it felt fucking fire the entire way through, bro. The entire way. It was engaging the entire way through. Even though we were expecting it to be a lot shorter than what it was engaging the entire way through. I think the story was told fucking great, and it felt good. I'm not gonna front. I was a little bit nervous when it started getting to that point where it was like, Annex is about to reveal some shit.
That was yeah, I want to ask you about that in the theater too, but speaking about, bro, you know how I felt. I was tired of this documentary. I was like literally really really over it, bro, by like the middle of the first of all, we started the doc I started the doc with Jay and York, the very first interviews, um, in August of 2023, and I didn't picture it going a year. I probably wouldn't have done it though. And I was telling you like I want to cut this down to 10 minutes. Then I was like maybe 20, and it was impossible to do. Even um when I first started editing it, and I kind of want to put some of those things out, but when I first started editing it, the whole thing started a little different. I remember when we were doing the face-offs, I had shown Deuce an intro version, and it was not, I can say that none of what he saw even made it to the final cut that we saw. So it was totally different. Um, because I didn't know how to even get into the story. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was I was tired of it. I guess that's how when you produce, shoot, direct, and then spend so much time with the edit, you get tired of the project, bro. Like that's probably why an editor would be good for something like that. Because I was getting tired. Like, you start losing you start losing your like, is this good? You show it to people, they say it's good, and you think they fucking lying to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how I felt, bro. But
You think an editor would have done a better job than you at editing this particular documentary? Like, I can see how you would feel that way about any other story you're working on, but being that you had ties to this
yeah,
one, you think somebody else would have did a better job?
nah, I don't think I could explain the nuances and the little characters, and like this is very important to any editor. I don't think I could have. I think it had to be me to
Yeah.
edit. It wasn't an enjoyable process, dog. but it had to be me to do it. I will say once I found um that once I found I forget the name of the company where they let you do the paper edit online, and I told you about this. Once I found how to edit a rough off of this desk and be able to edit anywhere, and I was just on a laptop editing low quality footage just by looking at the transcriptions. Bro, I felt like I was on another level. I felt when I was coming here like I was in a flow state. Like I was just chopping shit up that I had already done, and I was just piecing it together. Once I got into that state, the shit went like this. And even then I had to do some removing of stuff and adding of stuff. But even then, um yeah, I think that helped a lot, bro, cuz if not it would have been bad. It would have been bad. I
That
still
was all. That paper edit is all based off what was said,
Yeah,
pretty
I
much.
transcribed all the footage, and what I did was, which was kind of brutal because you're there, I already know kind of the gist of what everyone said, but I had to watch all the interviews. And for example, the only reason, well, I'll save that because I don't want to spoil that little comedic spot in the film. But when someone said something that related to something else, so I would watch, let's say Loso's, I'd watch his whole interview and I would highlight stuff, right? Boom, boom, boom. Let's say he mentions Ybor City. Now I'm watching Farnham's interview, and if he mentions Ybor, I'm highlighting it the same color and I put them in a group. So I batch it up where it says Ybor City, or I'll batch it up where somebody's talking about the first event. Then after I batch all these things up, I start building like a Lego. Like this is the part where we talk about Ybor. This is the part where we talk about the first event. And it kind of pulled back the curtains for how docs are made, because sometimes you see a doc and you're like, especially if you're in filmmaking, you're like, this didn't look like he was talking about this, but it looks like it was pieced together in an interview where he might have. That's why sometimes when you see docs and you'll see people come on and say, "Oh, nah, that's not what they took it out of context what I said." Sometimes because editors are piecing stuff together from different parts of the interviews, and that's what I was doing. Except I didn't think anybody um I took anything out of context of what I put together, but because I everything that I put in the documentaries what people said bluntly, like right then and there. So um
You know what's crazy? Now that we're talking about the paper edit, right? This kind of ties me back a little bit to something actually that you taught me about the interview process. Is that you kind of want the interviewee to, like, when they're asked a question, you want them to kind of respond with what the question is,
mhm,
right?
yeah,
Now, I could see how that would play a part in the paper edit, because now in the paper edit, it could pick up those clues.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And it helps the entire fucking process
yeah.
flow through.
And
that that's
if
that's fucking
that's a good way to interview, but if you notice, like, no, you never hear in the doc anyone say, "Oh, well, the first this," they never really state back the question. It's mostly for them and for me in the edit, but yeah, I think that's the best way, because some people could be like, "Oh yeah, it was dope," and then you're like, "What the?" Well, you don't know what they're talking about, so
yeah,
that's why
yeah.
we did it that way. But so yeah, we're talking about. So how'd you feel the day of the theater release? Which before we talk about the theater release, we were gonna release it in a very small theater in Ybor, like that fit only 20 people, a private theater, but they ended up being shut down even though their business listing was still up. How do you think it would have gone in there? I mean, I know we were in a real theater, but do you think impact would have been the same in that small theater?
I think bro. I think honestly, I think we would have been a little tight in there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we would have had to cut off like purchase tickets for
Yeah.
sure.
So we would have been packed off rip. So maybe it's in thinking about it like that we would have had a packed theater. I don't know. I don't know if it would have made it more impactful because it kind of did feel special that it was being done at an actual theater. Even though that is something that anyone can do. It's not something that anyone just thinks about, picks up the phone and says, "Oh, let's do this at Citrus Park Mall Theater, an actual theater." You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not like, to me, it doesn't seem like an everyday thing. And just that alone, walking to the actual theater and then seeing posters and all these promotions of like actual movies, and we're going to watch something you know, that you directed, you edited, and and then we collectively put together and put out there. I think that was I think that was fire.
Yeah, it
I think
was,
that
man.
that was a dope feeling for me.
Yeah. It was a
Yeah,
headache trying to get the theater to kind of like the days before, man. I had to go there several times, make sure it worked, make sure the audio was good. There's something about it, like I don't even want to talk about this in depth, but there's like a digital cinema package that I told you about that's hard to kind of create in your computer, and then it
mhm.
looks weird when it's done, but then it looks fine in the theater. I don't know, but I had to make one of those and learn about that. And yeah, I didn't. It was in hindsight, it's a special thing. I used to go to that mall and go to that theater. Now, it would have been real special had it played at the AMC Veterans because that's where I used to hang out.
That
Like
would have
as
been
a
real,
kid,
bro.
I would hit that. I would be at the theaters every weekend, dog. Even if I didn't have a ticket, I was out in the theaters just hanging out.
Do they do that? AMC does that or not?
I think AMC does it only for like if you want to watch a private film they're already showing. But I don't know. It'd be dope, man. It'd be dope. I think they already have to be showing a movie and then you could, but I don't know. We didn't really ask. We just saw that they, and probably AMC would have been more expensive, to be honest. But damn, that would have
You
been
think
fun.
it would have been? You think it would have been like a little bit overkill though? Like you think it would have felt empty to us watching it, or it wouldn't have mattered? I honestly don't think it wouldn't have mattered.
Where? What you mean?
You know what I mean? If we would have did it at AMC as opposed to Citrus Mall, as far as the size of the theater
Oh nah, yeah,
itself.
nah. I think, bro, at the end of the day, bro, when I first of all, I didn't know that many people were actually gonna go. I really didn't, dog. I promise you. I was telling my wife, I'm like, listen, if 15 people show up, that's cool with me. I was really cool with that, by the way. I was like, 15 people show up, that's cool. 50 people, bro, showed up. At that point, I'm getting nervous.
No
I'm like,
pocket.
whoa.
I felt it the entire time. I'm like, bro, we're getting way more than
I
15 people
was, bro,
in here.
I was shocked. I was shocked. Um, and we had a theater that fits 70. So I mean, they didn't have like a 50 seat theater, but if AMC does, so if AMC would have gave us their 50, it would have been packed
It
house,
would
bro.
have been.
And to work on something for a year and you think nobody's gonna watch this shit, but the honestly, man, the community really came through and made me feel like Scorsese for that day. But I also made this for them. I was like, yo, this is some I didn't market this movie to anyone else. Like it literally was a movie for that community, battle rap Tampa community. Um,
Yeah.
and it was crazy getting the reactions inside of the theater. Like, I didn't sit down and watch it. When it was playing, I was standing the whole time on the side. And I'm like, I wonder if they're gonna react to this funny part. And they did. They all the parts went, and then your part that I don't want to spoil, people were like literally grabbing me. It's like, yo, what happened? Like, what's going on?
Could you? I was in the first row and could not. I didn't see a single reaction to that. Was it like
It was quiet. You
like a
could hear a pin
gasp?
drop. Yes, well, I did see. I think it was York's sister. She was like looking at the screen like she didn't expect that. But you could hear a pin drop, bro. It was very quiet. It was very quiet. But I think that, bro, it was such a good reaction, dog. People clapped at the end like it was a plane landing, dog. You understand? I was like back in the day, how they used to do in the 90s. People clapped. I'm going out of focus.
I mean, in a way, that kind of was a plane landing. You know what I mean? Because that bitch was
Bro, I was
up
so
in the air for a little bit, at least a year.
I was shocked, dog. I was
It
shocked.
didn't really feel like a year. I mean, I know you were editing that motherfucker, so it probably felt longer in the year to you, but it didn't feel like a year to me. You know what I mean?
Had I knew what I was doing like in the edit, like this is why I feel like it made me better, bro, because it beat me up. It beat me the hell up, and I started realizing, damn, it's hard to put a story together when it's not narrative and it's documentary, and you kind of have to just go off interviews and hearsay, and people remember stuff differently. You have to piece it together. I'm like, for the next time, it's gonna be way easier. Like, had it been a narrative movie where it's like, oh, scene one, here's a script, it'd have been a bit easier. But I have a new respect for people that edit docs, and there's a lot of them because, dog, it's crazy. You think you know a story, people say a lot of wild stuff, and then you have to piece that together. It's crazy. So,
You know what I think is wild is that like a lot of people may watch documentaries, right? And just automatically think like based off the interviews that they're watching, this is the story, this is the truth. When in all reality, that's the director's truth.
yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if he's got opposing sides and all these different opinions of what happened, he still has to build one fucking story. So at the end
Yeah.
of the day, it's the director's truth. You know what I
Yeah, and
mean?
I felt like somebody asked me after, like they saw it privately, and they're, a close friend. They were like, "Why weren't you in this? You should have been in it." And I was like, "Bro, I didn't want. I feel like I delivered the story, and part because filmmaking is such as like how you see the world type of type of thing. My points are in there somewhere, lost in someone else's points. You know what I mean? They're in there.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to make myself like, then how biased would that be? You're already editing and telling the story. How biased would it have been if I'd put myself in there and be like, yeah, this is what I remember. You know what I mean? I didn't, it's not even important. The point of the movie, the point of the film is that um it's up to you as the viewer to pick what happened, who was right, who was wrong, what you thought about the situation. We ain't
Yeah.
telling nobody who was right or who was wrong or who what we thought about it. We're like laying it down, and then you take it or leave it.
Yeah.
That is what it is, man. But it was a good experience, bro. And I told York was like, all right, time to do it again. I said, York, I don't think that's gonna happen ever again, buddy. I don't mean to be pessimistic, but 50 people at a theater for a film you release, bro, for a specific that it's because it was a specific community too. That's why it was.
You wait, hold on. You don't think that could happen again?
Nah, I mean,
You're you're
not to be.
wilding.
It's hard, bro.
You are wilding right now.
Unless what you want to do, unless you want to do the narrative ETD, we cast somebody to be.
No, I'm saying it doesn't even have to be battle rap, is what I'm saying.
Bro, it's hard to get people to go watch a movie that you made, bro. It's hard people to go
I
watch real movies that are made right now in theaters right now.
I think, bro, man, listen, bro. I think it's extremely possible,
Shit, man, I
bro.
would like to have it done again. I feel like everybody was telling me it was such a good film, and when you're in a moment like that, I appreciated it, but you're like, bro, I was just running around I didn't enjoy it because I was trying to like talk to people and make sure that everything was going right and make sure the film was not gonna turn off in the middle of showing. It was crazy. It was like I felt like I was there, but not really there. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I think
now,
it's definitely possible though, bro. Okay, like the few, what was it, like a week long promo run we did leading up to the premiere, right? Where we were dropping flyers on a daily basis, things like that.
yeah,
You don't think a campaign like that can be planned again on a larger level, just a little bit better thought out, you know what I mean? Thought out ahead of time, because that was kind of like spur of the moment thing, that whole, you know what I mean? Like deciding to do a premiere, finding the place, the whole week long promo thing. That was really all spur of the moment. You don't think a more well thought out long term
yeah, maybe,
promotional
maybe,
plan could
maybe.
be
I mean, I'm trying to think of like how you would do it. Like, I guess it could be done. Um, it's just, it's just, it's still, even though we did it, it seems far-fetched. It seems like the stars aligned for this specific situation. Um, and then we tried to get this shit on Tubi and all this other stuff, and I failed because it's hard to meet these people's requirements. But that's something that for the next film, I think now I'm like, okay, now I know what to do because it wasn't easy. Like meeting their audio requirements and all this stuff. And I mean, bro, I spent like days. Literally, it was one time where I spent like 10 hours exporting this thing at 4K to deliver it to them, and they were like, "Oh, there's a little hiccup here," and I'm like, "Come on, dog." But I get it, nobody wants to pick up a movie that it has to be perfect from start to finish.
Tubi,
Yeah,
Tubi.
Tubi got some good stuff. I was just watching The Founder on Tubi.
But they also
They also got some. Nah, yeah, they
they
also do.
also have a lot of trash. I seen a nigga get stabbed with a straw on there one time.
No, you're lying.
No, I didn't see that, but you know what I did see? You yo, you know that fake stab back in the day where they put it through the arm?
No way. So ETD's done, bro. You announced it last week.
Yeah.
Before we get into why, um, when we did the doc and it led to the event, the last event with Deuce and Craig was in the doc, but the doc makes it look, I guess, like we lead into it. Um, it was called the epilogue. So was there like were you planning to end soon? Like, was this? Because I don't know. Because I think we spoke and it kind of I got the feeling that you were gonna continue doing events, but also the name is called the epilogue. So then it feels like in the back of your head you were like, just in case this is
Yeah.
the epilogue. So
Yeah.
So was that supposed to be the last event or not?
Well, initially it was supposed to be the last event. That was my mind frame going into it. Um, but I had a few conversations with Cap, bro. And bro, Cap is one of them people that, bro, he will put the battery in your back, bro. You know
Oh,
what I
really?
mean? Like, yeah, man. He's one of them guys that, like, if you're like halfway about something, he's gonna motivate you to 100%. You know what I mean? And in this case, not only was he motivating, but the Cap was willing to reach in his own pocket for shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like one of the main things, or one of my main issues with battle rap was that I could never fund it myself like I wanted to. You know what I mean? Like battle rap is some shit, like, in my opinion anyway, is like you gotta have some play money. You know what I mean? To like throw at it and really not expect nothing back. And if you do, then hey, hand clap. You know you got a little bit back, but bro, it's hard to treat battle rap like an investment. You know what I mean? So looking at it like that, it was just it's always hard for me to like, throw serious bread into battle rap. You know what I mean? Because to me, it always seemed like, for what? You know what I mean? We're gonna throw all this bread into something, put all this work into something, and yeah, at the end of the day, the people are gonna love it. They're gonna love it, right? But is that enough to just, to me, it felt like a super expensive hobby.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I mean? That's what it felt like to me. And then little by little, that hobby started to like, it started to get like, why the fuck am I dealing with all the bullshit that battle rap comes with? Even to this day, bro. Like, if you look at the culture in Florida, right? And you look at the amount of cancellations and the amount of shit that that league owners go through to put an event together. For example, what two majors going through right now, what Major League Battles just recently went through November 30th. What Lou Barra went through for one of his previous events, recent events as well. Is like, God damn, like, why? You know what I mean? Like, why the
Especially when
fuck,
you're not making no bread back.
bro? And a lot of times it's you're losing. A lot of
Yeah.
times to break even, sometimes is like, oh, we didn't lose nothing. Bravo.
But
Sometimes that's considered a success.
would you say there's middle tier leagues? Like there's top tier, there's middle tier that are making a profit?
Yeah, and you know what? I wouldn't even call them middle tier. I would just call them good, successful leagues. Yeah, there are. There definitely are. I look at folks and mind you, I wouldn't even know how monetarily successful they are, but judging by the amount of events they throw, the frequency of their events, meaning how many events they throw, the fact that they have an amazing running app. You know what I mean? I look at iBattle as a good example of that, bro. They got an amazing roster. You know what I mean? They have no shortage of talent. There's a variety of different styles and ethnicities, and like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, because when you look at, URL, and then you look at a league like KOTD, you know what I mean? Some people might look at that as, KOTD is the white boy league, and URL is more the urban crowd. You know what I mean? Like, that's the separation a lot of people can make there. You know what I mean? And a lot of people do make, not can, a lot of people do make that separation. But you look at iBattle, bro, it's completely different, bro. They have everything, mad different styles. They do mad events. Their artwork is up to par. Their quality is good. Their app is fire. You know what I mean? So yeah, there are good, successful leagues. iBattle has also been running for a long fucking time. They've been through, a few different owners. It's been through a few different hands. Um, and in my opinion, Lex Lex has probably done the best job with iBattle. But yeah, I would consider them a successful league. So yeah, there are leagues that that are successful. And it takes a hunger, bro, and a passion that I ain't got it no more, bro. Not for battle rap. I just don't. You know what I mean? I don't see myself putting that amount of time and effort and into battle rap no more. And I think it's cool to I think it's okay to take notice of that, and you know what I mean, and know it, be okay with it, rather than just keep trying when a part of me knows, bro, I could possibly run this shit into the ground.
Yeah. I
Why
mean,
do that when I could just
if
let the
if
legacy
it's
of it?
if it's not moving up, there's nowhere to go. It's either gonna stagnate or crash. But so in hindsight now, with Epilogue being the last event, you look at that event, look at the battles, also the people that like the event. When I mean the event, I don't mean just the battles. I mean the actual venue, the how it ran. How do you feel with that ending? With that being the last event, do you give it like a out of 10? What do you rate it?
I give it I give it about a 7.5, 8, in my opinion.
Not bad.
You know what I mean? I get about 7.5, 8, because that was an event that we were doing after a long hiatus. You know what I mean? And we threw a bunch of new factors into this one. There was way better camera work. You know what I mean? We worried about the lighting way more. There was a pay-per-view element involved with this one. So yeah, there was definitely a lot of factors that we didn't deal with in the past that we threw in this one. And it was our first time doing it for an ETD event. You know what I mean? Because I've helped out with other leagues, you know what I mean, bigger leagues, smaller leagues, on production and things of that nature. But it's always a different beast when you're doing it for your own, you know what I mean, for your own league.
And
It's different because when you're doing it for another league, you know what I mean, you go in the day of, you know what I mean, it's a paid gig.
yeah,
You go there, you got a set amount of time, you're out of there by maybe way later than what you planned for, but you're out of there, and then that's it. Event is done with. Maybe you're doing some editing if you're paid to do some editing, but other than that, there's nothing else riding on your shoulders. You know what I mean? With ETD, there definitely was. So yeah, the lead up and prep was definitely, it was new. It was new, even though I had done this shit before. You know what I mean? It
yeah,
felt new because it's like, all right, bro, now I'm doing this for ETD as
yeah.
opposed
No,
to,
it definitely felt like different from back in the day. Like I don't think we ever got to a venue that early and was talking about how it would look
yeah.
and feel. You know what I mean? It was kind of we just got there, threw some cameras up, put them cheap ass umbrella lights in the back. That wasn't really doing nothing, to be honest with you.
At
They
all, man.
never did nothing. Uh,
At all.
okay, so um, what I wanted to ask you too is, I don't know if you want to, I don't know if you want to um name names for this, but are you able to tell me? I actually forgot. I know one. The main three battles for the next event you were planning. And then after you tell me, if you are gonna say, can you tell me where it ended? Where you was like, you know what? I ain't doing this shit. I mean, you don't have to say,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? If I don't know if it was a specific person's fault or not.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I mean like you were dealing with someone, whether it's a rapper or someone helping you put on the event, where you were like, it's not worth it, dog. Like it's just this is too much of a headache. So
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
were
No,
the
I don't mind talking about it at all. So the headlining battle was gonna be one, I think, that ETD has been needing for a long time, bro. And that was gonna be Deuce versus Loso. So it was gonna be
bring it back
it
one
was
more
gonna be
time, dog. We gonna have to bring it back
yeah.
one more time, dog.
Yeah, man. It was gonna be Deuce versus Loso. That was
Both
gonna be
sides
the
agreed.
both sides agreed. which that in itself took some time. You know what I mean? It took some time, but it wasn't for bad reasons though. And I'm gonna get into the reasons in a second. But the main event was Deuce versus Loso. The co-main event was gonna be Lou Cypher versus Diesel.
Both agreed? That was on the
both agreed.
Damn, dog.
Both
Did you have
agreed.
a third one for that too?
There was okay, so we had options for the you know the co-main event, if you want to call it that. So we had Don Marino versus either Lord Rose, Don Rich, or there was a possibility of YBS as well, which that would have been, because Don Marino and YBS have a lot of history together.
Oh, really? I don't know any of
that. Yeah. So they used to run together. I know, Don Marino, that I seen from the outside looking in, it looked like Don Marino played a big role in YBS's career early on. You know what I mean? So
real quick, you don't care.
That would have been a conversation right there.
You don't care if someone else watches this in Tampa that has a league and they're like, all right, well, let me write that down. That's what I'm gonna do for the next card.
No, bro, I don't. Not at this point, bro. Y'all.
Hey, man, that'd be a good event wherever it happens.
Yeah.
Like somebody could make that event happen, bro. That's top notch. But it has to be high quality, man. Because I want to talk to you about what makes leagues look bad. Because I can tell you what I see on camera. But before that, what happened where it just broke down? Because it sounded like it was going to be a good card.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. And the rollout we had planned for this was going to be, wow, you know what I mean?
Like, what was the rollout? Tell me a bit about the rollout.
So the rollout was going to be too many documentaries for Deuce versus Loso. One on Loso, kind of explaining his origin story and where he's at now. Deuce's origin story, where their paths kind of split, because they're both from ETD, how their paths kind of split, how those two careers looked, and how they are now touching back home base to get this shit taken care of. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we were planning a mini doc on Loso, a mini doc on Deuce, and then another promotional shoot, which we were going to use for trailers, flyers and things of that nature.
Bro,
and then of course the face-offs.
Yo, Annie, somebody might look at this and be like, nah, and pull out a bag and put a gun to your head and say, make this shit happen. Because this sounds crazy.
Hey, man, listen, propositions have been made, bro.
People have offered things?
Propositions have been made.
And you just willing to, you're not willing to like hear it. You're like super done. Like I know you don't want to continue this, but you're not hearing anything. You don't want to take any offers or anything like that.
Yeah, I know. I haven't heard anything that's twisting an arm or anything like that. Like, nah, I mean, I haven't. Propositions have been made, bro.
It sounds like WrestleMania of, bro. That would have been,
bro. Man, we were so excited for that. But with something like that, the commitment that it takes, like we're no longer booking these guys for one event. Now we need them to sit down a few different times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now we're talking about a few dates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was a longer term commitment that we needed from these guys. So, okay, so the terms for for Loso, Deuce, Diesel, and Lucifer. They took a little bit, but not for bad reasons. You know what I mean? Essentially, it was, it was Deuce wanted to make sure that Cypher versus Diesel was on this card, right? Because we initially had the idea for them to be on the card. Once we start doing the math for Loso and Deuce, we figured everything out, and there was a possibility that Cypher versus Diesel wasn't going to make it on this card, just due to monetary reasons. You know what I mean? Our focus was really Loso versus Deuce, although Lucifer versus Diesel is a fucking amazing battle. You know what I mean? Like, that's a battler's battle right there.
Yeah, no,
You know
that's
what I mean?
bro. That's up there with the main event, dog. That's
Yeah,
up there.
I would agree. The only thing that separates those two battles, in my opinion, is what Deuce versus Loso meant to ETD. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
When you
yeah, no,
talk,
I agree. I
when you
agree.
think about their career paths and
I agree.
how they both started with ETD, and it's like that battle definitely meant more
Yeah,
to
no, it
ETD.
does. I think
was our focus.
that's the more important battle. I just think Lucifer is very clever, and Diesel still has the most unexpected caught me off guard bar I ever heard, and it's the opera wait bar.
Bruh,
I ain't
these-
never heard nothing like it. I must just say that.
timeless time, and that's one of those bars that's it's really timeless, bro. It wasn't like, no, he didn't use anything that was in the headlines, or like it can really travel through time. Like, if somebody said that shit today,
Yeah, it'd
it
be
would
crazy.
still hit just as hard.
It reminds me of that Head Ice line, which it wasn't as good, but when Head Ice said, "You gonna need help," and he said, "With your girl right beside you," like
Hell,
that reminds me of that,
yeah,
bro. It was such a
that
good
was
line.
against Cortez, right?
I forgot
I
who it
think that
was.
was against Cortez, bro. Yeah,
That
bro.
line is funny, bro. But
Timeless.
no,
Yeah,
that those
man.
are two great battles, bro. Like
Yeah,
that's crazy. And I would have
yeah.
seen, and I even like the Don Marino versus YBS. I could see it. Um, Lord, were you saying Lord Rose versus Don Rich? Was that what you said?
Lord Rose versus Don Marino. That was, so we had Don Marino on the card. There was just options on whether to get him against Rose, Don Rich, or YBS.
Mm,
Yeah,
damn, that seems like the best put together card. So
yeah.
you
I
were
mean, at
saying
least
if
for the top three battles. Yeah.
yeah, no, no, for sure, bro. But anybody would have with that announced with those three announced, you would have had people in your inbox demanding to be on the card, bro. Because
Yeah.
that's big. And you know the
I also
first
wanted Storm on the card. So the aim was okay. Remember that whole conversation that was going on in the group about the top MCs or the top battle rappers in Florida,
yeah,
and Storm's name was thrown in there,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
Fred's name was thrown in there. Now, obviously, Fred doesn't want anyone but Deuce, like that, or Fred is not, he's not budging. You know what I mean? Um, but the aim was to try to get all of those names that were in that conversation on this card. You know what I
Mm,
mean? And we start settling shit
yeah, no,
on this
that's
card.
crazy. So then what made it not happen? I don't know if you could share details on that.
Well, all right. So essentially, so the planning of it took a little bit, right? Like, as far as coming to terms with the guys, getting the date for the venue, trying to figure out exactly how much time we needed to shoot and edit these documentaries, um the dates that we were gonna have them, sit down. So it was kind of like a lot of shit. So what happened was, once we got everyone to agree to terms, the sponsor took a little long getting back to me. Now, the sponsor did have, things going on. You recently got back to me, actually today, actually,
Mm,
um, and let me know, that there was things going on. or whatnot. But we got to the point to where we would have had to change all the dates again and make sure that everyone was good for the new dates. You know what I mean, including the venue. And I wasn't trying to deal with that again, bro.
So it was financing that was kind of locked in, but then not locked in, and then I can imagine you had many different conversations multiple times, trying to first of all agree with people getting paid, and then agree with dates, and then financing didn't. You I guess you lost contact with financing or sponsorship for the actual event, and you didn't want to have all those conversations again and be like move things around, and then you didn't want to go through all those combos again. So you kind of like working on this for months, and then things got shuffled, and you would have had to rework it again for months, and you're like, nah, okay, that makes sense. So you just didn't. You were like, nah, I ain't doing this because there's multiple people. I'm assuming some people were saying no to things. To get I don't know how many guys to agree to one date to do this is crazy.
Mhm. Yeah, I think the longest um converse or the longest it took as far as terms was probably um Deuce versus Loso and Diesel versus Cypher. But that's because again, Deuce really wanted Cypher and Diesel to be a part of this card. You know what I mean? So, like I was saying, essentially, since our focus was Deuce versus Loso, when I went back and spoke to Deuce, I kind of let him know. I said, "Listen, we can deliver what you're asking. You know what I mean? But that's gonna sacrifice Diesel versus Lou Cypher.
Because of
You know what I
payments and
mean?
stuff.
Because of payments and stuff. And
Gotcha.
I let them know that's something we were okay with because, like I said, our focus was Deuce versus Loso. If we would have had to, take the hit and not get Cypher versus Diesel on the card, then we were ready to bite that bullet. You know what I mean? But Deuce was like, well, hold on. Where do I need to be at
Mm.
financially for that battle to still happen? You know
Oh,
what I
okay.
mean? Which,
Oh, so it makes sense. So he was Deuce was willing to take hits for that battle to
yes,
be on the card.
that's a fact.
Damn, damn.
That's a fact.
Hey, I wish I had an applaud button, but that's dope. I ain't never heard of nobody doing that. I
That's
mean,
a
people
fact.
worry
Yeah.
about themselves and their families. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's dope. Damn, I wish it kind of happened, bro. To be honest with you. Now, I mean, do you eventually think Deuce versus Loso will happen, just not on ETD? And I know that would, I don't want to say it would suck because I feel like it should happen there, but at this point, it's not. So you think it'll happen
Yeah.
elsewhere?
I think there's a possibility. I think there's a possibility of it happening. I don't. Um there's a few nuances there to think about. You know what I mean? Because you got to think who it, in my head it would have to be at least in Florida
Oh yeah, I mean for sure,
for
yeah.
it. You know what I mean? For it to make sense, it would have to be you know high up on the card. You know what I mean? Either main event or at least co-main event. You know what I mean? I'm trying to like, do you see? Let me ask you this: Do you see Loso accepting like a co-main event battle in the state of Florida?
I'm not sure. Has he always been main? Is he always a main event? I'm not sure.
From I'm
I
trying to
mean,
jog
I
trying to
mean to
jog
be
through my
honest,
memory.
bro. is there anybody?
I want to say, yeah.
Is there anybody that has anybody challenged him on being the best in Florida? I mean, like, besides, Deuce and everybody else, has anyone protested that? Like, has he not been a main event when he battles in Florida? Because if not, then no, I don't see that happening. I don't.
I don't think I've ever seen him not be a main event.
I don't know, bro. But
I
I
just
hope.
one thing I do know, I think it could happen in the state of Florida. Um, I don't see what I don't see is is leagues putting in the amount of work that we was ready to put in for this shit.
Well,
That's what I don't.
because to them it won't be as important.
Exactly.
It won't
Yeah.
be. This is a good actually transition to what I wanted to talk about, and that's like leagues and their production has to step up, dog. Because, and when I mean production, I don't mean just cameras and venues. I mean, you have to really care about that stuff. But nobody story builds, bro. Like it's like nobody watched WWE back in the day. There's stories, bro. Even though this is a battle, if you're not building a story, and sometimes, right, you have, for instance, let's take the face-offs that we did for the epilogue. With those face-offs, stories were built. Stories were built. Killer Kev, Cap, we seen them face off. We seen them go at it. Mini story. It makes you as the viewer be like, yo, I gotta see who wins. Who wins? I gotta be there. Same thing with some stories build themselves like Deuce versus Loso or Deuce versus Craig because those guys go on paths of their own and then they get to a point where you have to meet. You know what I mean? Some stories you don't have to do as much work to to make it exciting, but other stories you can't just put rapper A, rapper B on a car. Sometimes you do that. Like we didn't do face-offs with everybody, you know what I mean? But you have to have at least three, I'm gonna say three stories running there that are gonna bring people in. Three things that three pieces of content that people are gonna want to come in the door. That's why I think a lot of people fail. They just slap names on the flyer. Don't get me wrong. I am not into the local scene as much as I used to be, but if I saw a video of somebody and another person arguing about who's better, I'm gonna at least it's gonna pique my interest. You know what I mean? Because that's the type of stuff you need to do. You need to do some work before the actual event. And then
Yeah.
that's separate to how the event should look. Now, you don't need 8K cameras, bro, but you have to. That's where I think a lot of leagues need work. Am I wrong? Do you agree?
Yeah. I would definitely agree. There are a couple of leagues that do face-offs, right? Like I just seen Major League Battles. Um, they've actually done face-offs, right, in the past. What I really don't see is those face-offs, they're either not done with enough time to actually build the story. It's usually like a few days before the event or a week before the event, you know what I mean? So I mean, yeah, there might be an argument there, but as far as enough time to let that story build and let some, a little bit of animosity build, I haven't really seen that done. Um, yeah, yeah, I think it's important, bro. I think it's important. Battle rap literally thrives off of that energy. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's the skill too, right? You got to have skills, obviously. Um, but it's also that fuck you, I'm better than you energy. You know what I mean? And people want to see that shit fucking build. They want
See,
to. I think that's why the group has been so vital to us. It
yeah,
you know it became like a hub for that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and not only for us, it became a hub for other leagues in the state as well.
yeah,
You know what I mean? They got events coming up. They go into the ETD group and talk a little shit too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
You
I
know what I
agree.
mean? And they get their shit off in that group, but it leads up. You know what I mean? I know nowadays leagues like to use spaces, which I've tried to. I'm not going front. I've tried to jump in there a few times. Maybe I'm just an old head. I don't know, bro. It I don't know if spaces never really stuck with me. Even
Yeah.
though it technically should, right? Because it's you don't get a visual there, but
I
it's
like
the actual.
spaces. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like the format.
Yeah,
I haven't been inside of a like battle rap convo, but I do like the format of spaces that where you because Clubhouse like got popular during COVID. I think that's where this idea came from. And
yeah,
that's fire to have mad people in a group and it's like recorded audio. It's kind of like a podcast. To me, it's pretty dope. But some maybe we could try in the future. I don't know. But
yeah,
yeah, man. It's just crazy, bro, because I feel like that's what made ETD kind of work for us back in the day because even though you care about visual too, because you're a visual person, you really and you could do the same vice versa for me because I'm a battle rap fan that I was watching Smack, a little bit of Grind Time, I was watching all that. But then when it came to actually ETDs, like you knew which battles to put together. I really cared about the packaging of it and in hindsight, it didn't look great, but for the time, it looked better than anything else.
yeah.
And that's what when we did epilogue, and I wasn't filming, Orlando took that over, but I was there with y'all, and I was making sure that the packaging was great because it is a package, dog. How it looks, how people experience it, then how the videos look should be all the top of people's care. Like if you're your owner or whatever, it should be at the top of the list of stuff you care about. Because if the battle rap, the actual battle is high quality, but the video and the audio, and I've seen this before, is shit, then the whole thing is now shit. You know what I mean? And I think
You've lost your replay value
yeah, and I
right
think you
there.
could do vice versa too. Like if you got real good production, but you don't put together the great battles, and people are like, you get people that are forgetting rounds all the time, and it
That could be a
has to
problem too.
be up here, bro.
Balance.
Not every battle is gonna hit. I get that. Not every battle is gonna be amazing, but you have to try to. It's a balance of getting the production. That's something you can control. Is production, lighting, and how it looks. Even if it's a battle, you can't control what the battle is gonna do, but you can control production. You can control how the package is gonna look.
I think production in general needs to improve for the state. There are some leagues who do a good job of it. I think MLB does a great job at that. Um, I think um I think BBA does a good job at that. Uh, those are the leagues that stand out to me right now. But as far as what we would need to do to improve, actually, let me not say we anymore. What leagues would need to do to improve? That's uh,
It could be a more. It depends, right? I guess it's case by case basis.
yeah. You know what? I honestly, in this case, it would be more of a thank you, babe. Um, I think, and this is tough too because I know it's hard for the battlers as well to sometimes put battle rap first in front of life. You know what I mean? And things can happen, and sometimes you have to miss a battle. You know what I mean? But I think cancellations have always been a major problem in the state. And I think it creates a bit of a domino effect, because if if league owners feel anything like myself, right, then what happens is you see these cancellations happen. You know what I mean? You see them happen the day prior to the event, and you start to feel like, God damn, why am I going so hard for this?
Mm.
You know what I mean? And then I feel like that can create feelings of, or not feelings. It could create an atmosphere to not give as much of a fuck about things like production. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You start to feel like, why am I gonna spend, you know, $1,500, $2,000 on this crazy production, when at the end of the day, the day of, my main and co-main could back out, and then I'm just, you know what I mean? There's nothing, I
Yeah.
mean, you reschedule and things of that nature, but it's never the same.
Yeah, those are things you just can't control. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
why when you like, I always bring up like the UFC and boxing. When two fighters agree to fight, right? They do so contractually, but they're also getting paid. Um, but if one of them has to drop out, then it's never a good thing if a fight drops off of the card. But it's just different in battle rap because it's like you don't have 3 hours worth of content. You have maybe five battles. One of them dropping out is could be a big deal, especially if it's your co-main or main. That is insane. I mean, this has happened again in sports where it's like the main is off, but what's different is that you can, usually what they do is replace the one person quickly or replace the fight quickly. And you can't do that in battle rap unless you want to
Yeah.
bring people with random. It could be low quality, is what I mean. Say someone
Yes.
agrees, yeah, I'll battle this guy that day. No time to prepare, no time to prep. It's probably gonna be low quality. So it's just that some in battle rap that is uncontrollable, out of your hands.
Yeah.
It
And it happens from the top all the way down to the bottom. You know what I mean? Like,
that is
that's
yeah.
not a small league thing. You know what I mean? It happens on big stages, and it happens on, and I think the difference in uh in it happening in sports is that, in sports, that there's the capital to actually pay someone to be on standby. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? And
Yeah.
have them maybe not go through a full camp, but have some training on deck. You know what I mean? In case somebody backs up,
They
you know,
do that. They do because they'll have like for
full
big
camp. They
cards,
do.
they'll pay somebody to do a full camp and they pay them their show money. You obviously don't get your win money, but you got paid to lose that, to cut that weight and be on standby. You know what I mean? There's been multiple times where they have done that. And it's different. Like how you gonna hire somebody to write rounds for this dude just in case that dude drops out? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
weird, man. Um,
yeah. And I think in like in battle rap, what we get a lot too is a lot of times we just get oh, I'm sorry, this battle didn't happen, or this battle's not taking place. I did see MLB, for their recent cancellations, they did make price adjustments,
mm,
which was fire. They had their main event drop out, and they had price adjustments. They had live stream price adjustments,
that's
which
dope.
was which I thought was dope. Which is why, like, when we did the epilogue, and righteous versus Flair didn't happen, we were adamant about, you know making that battle up. You know what I mean? Now, granted, it was limited to a certain amount of people. You know what I mean? But you know, we did make the battle happen. It did go up on YouTube, and
Yeah, it was like a
that was
one-off, right?
delivered. Yeah, it was a one-off, but you know, a lot of times things like that don't happen. You know what I mean? Like sometimes what we get is, oh, you know, this battle's not happening. You know, we won't be getting price adjustments or anything, and it's like I think that weighs on the fans too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you know, the
So
fans start to feel the same feelings of like, why, you know, why am I giving so much of a fuck about this? You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's a lot of things, man. I wouldn't, you know, necessarily place production or cancellations or like, you know, things like that as like I wouldn't pinpoint either one of those things to be the certain problem for battle rap, but I do think it's a collection of a bunch of fuckery. You know what I mean? That just gives it a non-professional feel. You know what I mean?
yeah, man. I
That's my
think a
opinion.
bigger team would have been good too for ETD, like a bigger team, like somebody that is doing the booking, and then once things are booked, where you could kind of take over from there. Uh, just probably you need more than one person sharing that headache that comes with like making
Yeah.
those battles. Would you would you help out local leagues? Like, are you willing? Are you open to do that? To like kind of, I know you did that before with production and stuff like that,
Mhm.
flyers. But as far as like Battle League A is throwing an event in Tampa, they want you to be part of it. And I'm not talking about hosting it, but yo, help us build this and take us from the top to the bottom. Like we need help with the look, we need help with the best battles. They will handle the booking, so it's not like you have to call people, but they won't. Maybe they want you to help put this card together. You know what I mean? Maybe they do want you to do host a battle. I don't know. But would you
Yeah.
you be open to stuff like that too, or you just kind of
I think it
completely want to go away from the whole culture?
no, I'd be open. I'd be open to helping to an extent, right? Anything past that extent, there would be, and it's just me, you know, keeping it funky. There would be some charge involved. You know what
Well,
I mean?
yeah,
Because
there was going to be charge involved no matter what, right? If somebody has you like a consulting, you're going to charge.
oh, okay. Well, I mean, if you're talking paid work, yeah, I'm open to anyone. You know what I mean? Like I'm still doing shit for battle rap as we speak, and I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna, you know, stop. I don't foresee myself stopping, you know, doing battle rap work, you know, in the foreseeable future at all, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, nah, I'm never gonna turn no battle rap work down.
So
You know,
you're still gonna work in the culture. You just don't want to run a league and book battles.
yeah,
You're gonna do like still.
yeah.
Would you film battles and stuff, production and
I
graphic?
would film battles. Yeah,
All right.
I
So you
would for
still
sure.
so in essence you're just walking away from the league, from your own league, but you're willing to kind of help out other leagues where they need help.
That's a fact.
Bro, I would say for anybody watching that's a league owner, like pay this dude to consult, pay this dude to put. You know what? I don't know, bro, because there might be people that put better cards than you together. I don't know. I don't know everybody, so I'm just talking shit. Like somebody
Yeah.
else might be like, yo, I could put just as good cards on, and that could be true. The thing
You
is
know
with me, the
what I
thing is
think
with
I'm good at?
no, I was gonna say
Huh?
the thing is with me is like I'm not so embedded into the local scene anymore. I only know from who pops up, from what you tell me, and who's on ETD. Like I've watched battles from other leagues, but still at the end of the day, it's because like Deuce is on there or somebody that I know.
Yeah.
You introduced me to the couple new dudes from the epilogue, and I did watch a couple of their battles. Like when the card was building up, for instance, Don Rich, when you mentioned him to me, I was looking at his battle. So I did watch some stuff he did on other leagues, but besides like me going to look for battles, it's
Mhm.
not always looking for local leagues. Just kind of what pops up was dope at the time. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. But it's crazy because I think you can still have a presence in the local scene. You know what I mean? Like ETD don't need to be a league, but I don't know, dog. Do you think you put together the best cards? Do you think you do that?
The best cards, nah, I wouldn't say the best cards because in all honesty, I feel like when ETD was on its way down, we weren't necessarily putting together, monumental cards like that. And then, when after the hiatus, we came back and we did put together one, in my opinion, one great card, right? But that one great card is in my opinion not enough to outdo the number of good battles that there are throughout the state. Because there's some good battles out there, bro. I think there are some good battles. I think there's talent out there. You know what I mean? I just think Florida, just like the rest of the country, when it comes to battle rap, it has its issues. It has its kinks. You know what I mean? It has a lot of business issues to square away. It has a lot of it's because of what battle rap is. It's kind of always treated like the secondary thing. You know what I mean? Okay, so like if we were to compare it to an up and coming music artist or anything like that, like you see you see artists go, if they believe in themselves and they believe in their career, you know what I mean? Like they'll go all out into their career. You know what I mean? They'll spend every dollar. They'll sleep where they need to. They'll drive where they need to make certain things happen. Right? For battle rap, I feel like it's always. I don't feel like that type of hunger is there for battle rap. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's just to a lot of people, not just the battlers, including league owners, also it becomes secondary to life. You know what I mean? And you gotta put life first sometimes, even when you don't gotta put life first sometimes. You choose to put life first sometimes because of some of the situations that battle rap can put you in. You know what I mean? It goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's like, why the fuck am I putting so much time and effort into this when it's so volatile? You know what I mean? Battle rap is crypto volatility.
That's
You
crazy.
know how crypto can go up and down. You got your stocks, and then you got crypto, which is way more volatile than stocks. It goes up and down. If we had to make a comparison, you know what I mean? That's what I would compare battle rap to. It's just not much stability in it. And so I feel like a lot of people are forced to put it second. You know what I mean? And I know, we have these conversations about production and what the state lacks sometimes, but I don't put people too much at fault for battle rap, for putting battle rap second sometimes, bro, because you just can't, bro. Sometimes you gotta put life first, bro. You really have to. You know what I mean? So I don't put people too much at fault, but does it have its issues? Yeah, it has its issues, but it's still a culture that people enjoy. You know what I mean? I've never battled in that type of setting, but from what I hear, like the rush is fucking insane. That instant gratification of of a whole room full of people cheering for your bars is like unmatched from from what I hear, and I can imagine that to be so. But it has its issues, bro. But at the same time, I don't fault folks for putting battle rap second, bro.
Do
I
you
can't
think
do
the
that.
city has a lack talent issue? Is there a lot of great battle rappers in I'm talking about Tampa, not Florida.
I don't think there's a lack of talent. Um, I don't think we've necessarily done a great job at uh at finding and curating talent and like you know making sure that they get to the next level.
Yeah.
Which that's a whole making sure is like even crazy to say because you know it's not like you can make sure that a certain talent makes it to the next level. It has to be a team effort between the league and the MC. Um, yeah, I don't think we've yeah, I don't think we've done a great job at like finding and or creating new talent. You know what I mean? There's some guys that are making noise now with Dre Sosa and Clocked Out promotions. You know what I mean? Hoodie Boy Keelan put on a great performance at Clocked Out's last event. Um so yeah, man, hopefully Clocked Out can can curate some new talent for the city. And actually, as we're talking about this, if I'm not mistaken, I think I seen Dre put a post up about um about curating some new talent just recently. Some females I think he might be looking for. So,
That's one
hopefully
thing
that's
that never happened in ETD. Female battle rap.
never,
Never
bro.
2-on-2 either. Which
Never had a 2-on-2 either. That's a fact.
would you manage a battle rapper? Say somebody comes to you, be like, bro, can you
No,
manage me? Give you a little cut off what they get paid? Nah.
no, no. It's not neat. I don't think it's needed, man.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't I
I
don't
don't know. Maybe somebody thinks like maybe I'm talking about a young dude that thinks maybe you have connections with the leagues and you can kind of manage his career at least for the beginning of it. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I know most
I mean,
battle rappers could manage themselves.
I've done that. I've done that with some folks. You know what I mean? They'll hit me up and anywhere I can get some battles, this and that, and I just kind of point them in the right direction. I'll tell them what league owners to holler at or whatnot. You know what I mean? But as far as like inserting myself into like their career and like, nah, I don't see myself doing that. But there are some good battle rap managers out there, bro. There really are. But I know that's something that a lot of battle rappers feel they don't need as well. Like
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of that. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen
It
a lot
makes
of rappers
sense.
say, yeah, I don't really need that. I can have them conversations myself.
Yeah.
Why put a middleman in there?
All right, so basically I think we answered everything about the league and I think people are gonna know why it ended. I think people are gonna I think some people will be in your DM. I guess we could wrap it up with the last question. Are you making any new music or not? Do you not want to answer that? Well, I don't really don't know. I mean, me and you have conversations, bro, but I don't know what you be doing.
I yeah, he lying like a motherfucker. He do know. He
Nah,
definitely.
cause you'll say yeah, but then I haven't heard nothing, so I don't know.
You heard one little joint. Okay, so we are working on something, right?
You talking about the videos you sent?
Yeah, but you heard? Did you hear what Lucas did with that video though?
Nah, I wasn't sent that.
I didn't send you the
No,
MP3.
you sent me a regular video. And then you was talking about, yeah, we could keep doing that. I'm like, all right, we keep doing what, the caption?
Nah, bro. Okay, so So I sent them that video, right? And damn, I don't even know if we should like
Maybe
reveal
don't. Yeah,
the
maybe
process,
maybe don't, bro. If you
because I think the process in itself is like could be something that's like dope and new, and and it falls into the realm of what we already do, right? So if we can master that process and get some fire music out of it, I just think it'll make for a fire story at the end of it all. You know what I mean? How we were able to take this process that we were already into, mend that with the music, and create a new something new for
yeah, yo,
ourselves.
send me that. I don't even know what you're talking about. I promise I don't.
I got
But
you.
so
But yeah,
so you
we
are
are.
you are working on something.
Yeah, yeah,
All right.
yeah. Working on a little EP. I don't want to give a date out for, but we are aiming for 2025. I'm hoping I'm hoping by the summer we'll be wrapped up. You know what I mean? And that's like, for an EP, that's quite a bit of time for an
Yeah.
EP, because we ain't, EP is, a few, just a little taste test for y'all.
Just
You know,
save me one music video on there. You know I don't like to shoot.
one, this nigga stingy.
Well, I'm imagining Lucas might want to do some. Um, but I
Yeah,
definitely
no,
want to
no,
do
yeah,
at least one.
he does, but Lucas already has a big hand in the production.
Mm.
Everything I've written so far has been
On his beats?
yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah,
Damn. I didn't know that I didn't know that.
yeah. The one joint that I wrote to something else. Actually, no, I wrote that video that Lucas recently did was over a juice beat. I've written to some mad smooth beats, right? But as far as what we're working on currently, it's all been Lucas joints.
That's dope. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you be sending me some random beats. Yeah, he's dope. That's crazy. I didn't know.
Yeah.
So next year, 2025. But yeah, bro, save me one video and you know
Nigga,
what? I got an idea for a
I'm gonna
video.
need a couple about you,
I
bro.
got an idea for a video, bro. That's not what you would think. No, no, no. I'm saying I do want to do a couple because I got one idea for one video that's very off the wall, and it can go with any song. It don't matter what it is. It's a weird idea that I have. It's not
What?
weird. I actually saw someone do it, and I'm like, I'm doing the same exact thing. I'm just doing it. Yeah. So hey man, good artists steal, bro. The best ones do. But anyway, bro, a good combo. I don't know if what this is or what it's called, but should be out soon. As for me, I'm working on other stuff. Crowns and Chaos is in the past. I'm about to delete every file from my computer, bro.
Damn, though, you really gotta delete them,
Yeah,
though.
I'm gonna
Like,
delete them
can't
because
just
you know
tuck
what?
them.
It's the my consciousness is telling me not to. Like I haven't finished it. It's like, bro, don't delete that. I'm deleting it. The file is uploaded and done. I don't have to save it. I don't want to see it there, bro. The word crowns annoys me, so I'm gonna delete it. I do want to. The reason, honestly, why I haven't deleted is because I thought I was gonna jump on some bonus footage right away. But even the thought of that is like, maybe I should take a
Oh,
break.
did you still want me to grab that other footage, or
Yeah, bro, I was waiting on y'all. Waiting on y'all. Remember you told me, hey, I might have it next tomorrow, but then you never I don't know if they
actually, yeah,
sent it or not, but yeah, bro, I would like to. There's a lot of stuff that's bonus footage that we could use. You know what I mean? But also I got a lot of the B-roll from the epilogue that's like I don't know if you're gonna need that now because since you're not doing the league, but it's there and I'm not gonna use it ever again. And I
yeah,
have to make some space. So you could have it. I mean, you know what? You should take it in case you need to do promos for other leagues. Any of those guys pop up, you got great footage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's all.
Because that's one thing leagues do need is promos as well. So you have
Yeah.
those. Um,
And don't think I don't see y'all using our footage for them trailers now. I see.
yo, for real? I haven't seen nobody.
But guess what? I'll be doing the same shit, man. That's
Yeah,
all I'm
man, it is
saying.
what it is, dog. Anyway, any last things you want to say before you sign out this bit?
Uh, nah, man. I guess that's the fuck it, man.
You're
I
making more
guess that's
content on this channel, though, right? Like you're
I
gonna
am
make more
definitely
content.
am, definitely am gonna put out some more content.
Is this your main channel? Like all your music videos and stuff are kind of come out through here?
Yeah, yeah. I
Damn,
think
that's dope.
all music is
That's
gonna be
dope.
coming through here now. I mean, why the fuck not? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah, true. You should,
fuck it.
man,
Oh, the 2 minute windows. The 2 minute windows are coming back, and those will be going on the ETD channel as well.
dope.
Just put out a dungeon worthy on the ETD channel. Y'all could go check that motherfucker out. Probably be doing some more of those. Although I am gonna be a lot more selective about who does those.
The dungeon worthy dungeon. I don't remember what it's called, but I know it's
Dungeon
those two words.
dungeon
Um,
worthy.
yeah, bro, I like those. You should be selective about them shits. They should have a style. You know, I was gonna say, bro, this is something I wouldn't say recorded on this, but I know you got a black backdrop,
Mhm.
and that last one you sent me sounded like spoken word, and it
Mhm.
felt after you had put it out already. I saw it again, and I'm like, man, I kind of didn't. Again, this is something I would say offline, but I can say because I know you don't care. I kind of wish that it was a plain background because it would have took me to another location. But because I saw a fan behind you, I'm like, and it's fine. I know you're in your room, but bro, when you put a black background or something like that, I don't know where you at. Mysterious, you know what I mean? And I
Yeah,
felt like that would have benefited a lot from something like that. Like maybe you could do that for the next couple ones that you do. I think
yeah,
that should actually you should have a theme to those anyway. They should have a some type of backdrop. They should all fit. If they're a series, they should all fit. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Something like it looks the same.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like
not
I don't know
not a bad
if
fucking. That's not a bad fucking.
nah,
You
bro.
know what the point of that one? Well, actually, my aim for cutting on the camera and filming it was to see how smooth I could get it out. I could get it out because I'd done phone recordings, you know what I
Mhm.
mean, just recording them on the phone. But as far as like, standing up and getting it out with a little bit of charisma and shit, that was literally my first time doing that. So that was the point. And I fucking, I threw that shit into the PC, threw a title on it, and I was like, you know what?
Yeah,
This
just
shit
put
goes the fuck out
bro,
right now.
sometimes you just gotta do something like that. Just put it out. You know what I mean? Like today I was making that edit and I was listening to this song, bro, back to back to back. And I'm like, I'm gonna put this song on an edit and bro, I did that in I don't know, 10 minutes. Cause I was working on a YouTube video. But then I'm like, I don't have time to film this right now, so I'm just gonna make an edit. And I just kind of dropped what I had already done and put it there. And at first I wasn't gonna put it out, but I was like, I don't care no more, dog. I'm just gonna put content out there, man. You know how much stuff I got hold back that I haven't put out, bro? A lot. There's a lot. So for this year,
I have
that's what I'm.
literal edit reels, bro,
Huh?
from years. I have edit reels,
Yeah,
like that. I have not fucking put out.
yeah. I gotta put all my stuff. I'm working on a reel. Funny you say that. I'm working on a reel as we speak. But I feel like I don't have enough great footage in there. Like I gotta get some more stuff. But anyway, yeah, man, our time is running out. So yeah, bro, good talk. I'm gonna text you and please send me that thing that you were talking about with Orlando. And we're gonna get this up ASAP. All right.